Today's topic is the Brady List, sometimes called the Law Enforcement Integrity Database. ASCOPS received a number of questions about the Brady List and how it impacts officers' careers, so we want to provide a basic overview and answer the most common questions. This video is part of Law Enforcement Lessons, an online resource providing 5-minute videos that will help you understand legal issues facing police officers. I'm Steve Cerbalic. I'm a lawyer who regularly represents police officers in the state of Arizona, and I'm a panel attorney for ASCOPS. This video will cover what the Brady List is, what it is not, and what to do if you find out that you're on the Brady List or if you're being considered for placement on the list. Please note that this is a general summary and not legal advice, so please consult with your lawyer and your union representative to talk about your specific circumstance. Our goal for this video is to provide you a basic understanding of the Brady List process and how it may impact your career. But the most important thing for you to know is, if you find yourself in trouble at work or worried about the Brady List, please contact a representative as soon as possible. Experienced representatives can help you navigate this complicated topic, but only if you ask for help. The 5th and 14th Amendments of the Constitution contain what's called a due process clause. Specifically, they guarantee that no person may be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The term Brady List comes from a United States Supreme Court case from 1963 that interpreted these rights. Courts interpret due process to include the right of a criminal defendant who's obviously facing the potential of losing life or liberty, with mandatory disclosure about witnesses that may testify against them in a criminal trial. This means if a prosecutor knows that a witness has integrity issues, possible biases, or a criminal history, the prosecutor must disclose that information to the criminal defendant. Each prosecuting agency either maintains their own list or shares the list with another prosecuting agency. For example, a city attorney may decide to use the county attorney's Brady List, or the city attorney could choose to maintain their own list. There is no universal Brady List. You could be on one Brady List for one prosecutor, but not on another. The Brady List, or Officer Integrity Database, is a disclosure list. It's a way for a prosecutor to keep track of potential witnesses, like police officers, who, if called to testify, would have background materials that the prosecutor would disclose to the defense. This brings us to the concept of an integrity database. A database is simply a collection of information stored for easy retrieval. Prosecutors' offices deal with hundreds or thousands of potential witnesses, so keeping track of the witnesses requiring disclosure helps them meet their constitutional requirements in an efficient way. Some officers ask us if being on the Brady List means that they are unable to testify. The answer? No. Police officers can testify in criminal cases, whether or not the prosecutor must disclose information to the defense attorney about the officer's history. We're also asked about whether an officer is subject to discipline by his or her department because of a placement on the Brady List. Again, the answer is no. State law requires that department discipline be based upon just cause, and placement on the Brady List alone should not be enough to be disciplined without receiving the due process guaranteed by law. Finally, we're often asked if the Brady List is secret. This answer is a little more complicated. Prosecutors do not need to release the entire contents of their databases to the public or to the media, as it's considered attorney work product. But generally speaking, an officer placed on a Brady List and defense attorneys in cases where the officer may testify receive notice that the officer is in the database. If you find out that you're on the Brady List, don't panic. Generally speaking, the circumstances behind why you are listed are far more important than the mere fact that a prosecutor decided to disclose information about you to criminal defendants. This probably comes as no surprise, but we highly recommend that you contact your union and a lawyer if you're placed on the Brady List. Together, we will work to evaluate the many factors involved in your case, and we will plan for the future. If you're an ASCOPS member, this consultation is covered under your legal plan. When you do contact us, we will make sure that the information that the prosecutor used to decide to place you on a Brady List is factually accurate. If it's not, we will take the appropriate steps to correct the record. It's important to remember that you need to plan for your future. Addressing Brady List issues and questions early and efficiently will help you plan out the rest of your career and address any questions that members of your department may have. So here's the recap. We covered what the Brady List is. It's how prosecutors comply with the Constitution's due process requirements by disclosing information related to integrity, bias, and criminal behavior for potential witnesses in criminal cases. We also covered what the Brady List is not. It's not a disqualification from testifying, and it's not an independent reason for department discipline. We talked about what to do if you find out that you are on, or being considered for placement on, the Brady List. Don't panic. Consult a lawyer. Make sure the information being disclosed is factually accurate, and plan for the future. And the most important takeaway is this: ask for help. There are resources available through organizations like ASCOPS that can help you navigate through this process, as well as any other significant issues that you might face as a police officer. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the button below to subscribe for more law enforcement lessons. I'm Steve Servalik. Stay safe out there.